wrote Meow, a poetry collection by Tolu Akinyemi. Please, can we give him a round of applause? Okay, so my own name is Ifichuku. I'm an author of 2 children's books and the host of the Sweet Mother channel on YouTube. So whenever you get to YouTube, make sure you subscribe. So I'm going to be your anchor for this evening. If you have any questions, please ask me or you can ask Tolu. And I would like to say thank you to everyone for coming. We are still expecting more people, but that's fine. But thank you for coming and leaving what you're supposed to do and being here to honor and support Tolu. So well done for coming as well. And I'm just going to run through through a couple of things this evening. There's going to be reading, question time from the audience, and there's going to be discussion from John Paul here. He's a poet. And there are refreshments right at the back. Some housekeeping rules. The toilets are on my right-hand side, and the fire exit in case of any fire, but we are hoping that there's not going to be a fire. It's just through the sign there upstairs and you can run out. And hopefully there won't be any flooding as well. If there's any flooding, we pray that God will send an ark. Okay. So a brief...
What about fire engine?
So no, well, we just hope that there won't be any emergencies, you know. So a brief overview of Dead Cats Don't Meow, and that's why we are here today. This is his 3rd book launch, his 4th book, but 3rd book launch, right?
3rd poetry collection.
3rd poetry collection, fantastic. Okay, so just before I do that, I met Tolu at the London Book Fair last year, and I met this guy he wore his suit and was carrying a big rucksack of heavy books. And as soon as I saw him, I said, this guy must be Nigerian because we are all hustlers, and he happened to be. And so he told me about his books, his marketing scheme, how he's going to talk to people about his books, and it was so inspiring. Anyone that meets Tolu will know that he's full of energy. So I was really inspired. So Tolu was born in Nigeria. He currently lives in Newcastle with his family. He's been endorsed by Arts Council England as a writer with exceptional talent. So he has over 10 years writing experience. Tolu is the author of Unravel Your Hidden Gems, that's your 1st book. Dead Lions Don't Roar, Dead Dogs Don't Bark, and his latest release, Dead Cats Don't Meow. Maybe later on we'll find out why animals.
Why did?
Wake up, raise up. So his writing is based on deep reality and often reflects relationships, life, and features people he's met on his journey. Tolu has taken his poetry to stage, performing his written word at many events. Sales of Tolu's books have allowed Tolu to donate to charities that make a difference in people's lives. So about the book, Dead Cats Don't Meow is a collection of beautifully written poems. Each piece, if you have the opportunity, and by the grace of God you have the opportunity to look at the books and buy the books as well, because that's why we're here. So each piece has its own message, its own story, its own emotions. One can tell that Tolu was at different points and different phases of his life when he wrote each one. Some of the poems have been inspired by ordinary events. For example, Don't Call Her Mommy. We need to really find out why we should do. Is it from a religious point of view or something like that? Some of his poems have been inspired, maybe when he wanted to rant about something, like Rapes at Dawn, when he was talking about the madness of corruption in Nigeria, I believe. Okay, some of his poems in the book have been inspired by reality or his view of the world around him. For example, a blue in Georgie land. Yeah. So that's something about football?
Yes.
Good. Okay. I think he was in the poem, from my understanding, he was almost a victim of football fanatics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I was doing Jesse in Newcastle. Are you mad?
Okay, and the other poem that was inspired by the view of the world around him is called 2 in 1, about whether a wedding dress, suit, and glamour can be forgotten in the aftermath of a crumbled home. So when you buy the book or when you have opportunity to look at the book, you'll find out that each piece has a very strong message. Other poems have been inspired by his deep thought. For example, Abuse, Mistakes, Hands of Time. Some have been inspired by random people he met. For example, a poem called South Shields, where he wrote about a man that wanted him to pray for his leg on the bench or something like that. So some of the poems have been written to give the reader hope. For example, Silver Lining. See the silver lining in the blue skies. No matter how tiny, see the sun rays. Believe, don't relent, keep striving, and someday you will see the silver lining. So poems like this are quite hopeful, and I did like this one. So basically, this book is about hope, for you to take action. If you look at the book, it's got don't waste your ninth life, just like a cat. Go after your heart's desires. Say no to distractions. Say yes to opportunities. Keep trying. If you fail, try again. If you fail, still try again. You're the master of your kingdom. So that's a brief overview of the book. So I'm going to leave everyone now. Feel free to come and have a look at the book and support Tolu as well and his work. And yes, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask him. So thank you very much.
I've got a song about hope.
A song about
hope.
So it's time for the lunch option. So
Okay.
you can sit here.
Okay.
People can look at the book if they want to buy.
Okay.
They come
Okay.
to sign it here.
It's discussion.
Yeah, no, discussion first.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go for discussion first.
Oh, you want to have the discussion first before people have. Wouldn't it be nice for
it's
people
up
to?
to you're in
Yeah.
charge.
So it would be nice for people to have a look at the book
Yeah,
so that they can look
buy the
through.
book and discuss it.
Yeah, so that while the discussion is going on,
Okay.
they can look through the book. Yeah.
This is a proper salesperson. That's a sales exec.
you only think books.
10 minutes, yeah.
So maybe we get the discussion set up. So
Okay, let me get
let's see back.
Right, you have a
We'll get
copy.
some chairs and we'll just sit and talk.
Yes.
Right? What we need to do is get you in the place. We need just push that chair to the back.
So just what the chair.
Yeah, that's it. And what we're going to do is get Tolu on the side. You're going to ask them which side they want Tolu sat on.
Maybe in the way, just for the
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's just, you know, it's going to be choice.
Yes.
yeah, so you can see.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
I was thinking maybe you should just
But this is more expensive.
Tolu, yes. I don't think the thing is connected. Yes.
You can't afford them just to get by another time.
I thought he said to me when he made it a month ago to tell me before
Oh, maybe, I think we're at very short time now, Lucy, unfortunately, so it might not be possible.
But no, that's what he told me. I'm just.
Oh, sometimes plans change.
No, that's what he told me.
That's kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, so coming through back. So excuse me. Yes. Doesn't work. Yeah. Cash. Yeah. Okay. No problem. Can you separate? Yeah. This is the water, right? And if you buy up to is it 3 books, we get to have we'll travel back. But enjoy reading it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I thought you were going to say free. I thought it was
Okay.
How much? The movie. Oh yeah, because I have an appointment at 9.
Yeah, so
Okay, perfect. So sounds so really good.
£20.
So he has his own difference.
Yes, but that's also important.
Yes.
Tolu.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you met at the art book fair in London.
Yes.
That's nice. And you were there.
So this is very much on the
Thank you. Yes, you have to help each other and yes, so you are the organizer of this yeah, okay, yeah, so you are more like the presenter. Yeah. So you're in, yeah, like my name is Akinyemi.
I know.
That's 22, I think this 15. This 30.
They give it to me.
I always buy 10.
You know Lucy, of course. Ivy's.
Did you get a copy of this book, Lucy?
Now, if this is the same.
Yeah, it's the same, just that the design is different.
Different color.
Yeah. I think this was the first one that came.
Oh, okay.
They redesigned it.
So this looks right. I might as well take 8 and make it 60.
£10 each of them.
Oh, so how am I going to get this all like that?
How many months from the car you pick up?
They give you some special prize when you take 3, I guess, no?
Yes.
These, how many have you bought? How many have you bought?
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, I can say it's 9.
Yeah, special privilege.
Have a bag.
And also, there are snacks over at the back. Lucy, there are snacks at the back.
Can you take?
Yeah.
That photo is actually nice.
Yes, so don't miss out. And there's water as well.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you say something with
Ivy, I know my card in case you come to Switzerland. Should I write down in Switzerland? Art Basel, they have this Zine fair. It's called I Never Read. Have you ever heard about it? You know Zines? These kind of art, this self-made thing. So Svizzera, and Zurich. Too rich. Too reich, yeah, in German.
Thank you.
No, sorry. Yeah. So we need to have a poems. That's going to be.
Yeah, the thing is, right? It's actually before the discussion. Maybe you guys have the discussion first.
Yeah, no, I'll say, can we do some poems?
Exactly.
So let's get this sorted. Oh, good. There is food here, so at the back and drinks, fruit drinks. Because it's 16 now. Yeah, I don't know, that's 15 quid. Okay, that's something.
Yeah.
There's a normal one. So, I'll send one for her. She's always like, told her to come for the Christmas, so she lives very far.
You want to go?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to read the listening. My job is only to do recycling in the house. So it doesn't work for a prince.
That's the best kind of Cinderella.
I'm not a magical Cinderella, I'm a real Cinderella. Confined to my flat, to my big clothes, and you have work and time. what's your food? Why aren't you taking food?
Because I'm going to be doing a discussion, Lucy, and I don't eat before I fall.
How many more?
Afterwards, I will eat. Yeah.
It doesn't really make a
How many do I have today? 85. Well, you might be 10. No, I think it's 75.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So 60 pounds is 45, is 60.
no carry on my vehicle. Okay, so you're
I'm not going to get
Hey, Mr. Galopon, how you doing? I know.
I'm going fast. If I can get it back, that's all.
There's no contact, there's no possibility. Press 25.
Level boss smells really good.
Please go and try some.
Yes, hello there.
There are licorice all sorts at the back.
Sorry?
Licorice all sorts at the back.
That liquor what?
Licorice all sorts. It's English as confectionery Where would you, we're going to be doing this discussion.
That's okay.
Where would you like the seats to be?
Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay, let's carry on.
Stop selling. Let your let the salesperson manage it.
Okay, thank you. All right, just manage it.
Take a picture of me. Of us together, Lucy. Yeah.
Everybody's there.
Here come the cavalry. Could you come and sit near the front? That's brilliant. Yeah, because we're just trying to...
Are you?
How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
So when they film it, okay. It seems that Nigerian people operate on virus time. Well, we need to kind of like, so we're talking. So these are the things. Okay. Schrodinger's cat, the title card, you can say how you got to that. The Anderson, inspirational poetry. Ask how that fits into poetry. So some people look down their noses at inspiration. That's just a bit for you to say why you write about that. But we'll ask you a general question about how you paint poetry. Just general stuff, and then I'll ask her about African poetry.
Okay.
You know, writing in English.
Okay.
So, you don't need to look so terrified. You don't need to look so worried. It's fine. And then I'm going to just say you're based in Newcastle, and you say why Newcastle. You might say nice things. Probably say nice things about Newcastle. So then he gets back and he's trying to say plug anyone else. I'm going to mention the fact that
was here. He had to put like 2 months ago. Okay, have a lot.
Are you okay, Lucy? I'm not saying you're right with me sat here like me and I'm slightly turning my back.
Anyway, you can go on.
It's okay. I just don't want to be rude, so I'm just going to be here and talking to her.
But you can turn yourself a little bit more.
Well, it's just...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So it's now time for discussion with John Paul O'Neill. And after the discussion, then Tolu can do some readings and you can feel free to ask him some questions. So let's get on with it. Thank you.
And I kind of observed that there's an Irish time operating here because you go to County Kerry, which is where my family are from. It would be exactly the same. You know, we'd be up for the crack, we'd be getting ready to party. We'd look at the 7 o'clock start time. I think nobody's going to turn up at 7 o'clock. and hopefully, because they don't turn up, it means that there will still be beverages and licorice, all sorts of back. Could I ask, could you just move forward a little bit? Because, just come, look, there's seats here. Come forward, because, honestly, Tolu's being very well behaved tonight. Or so he tells me. So you can move forward, and then you'll be closer, and then he can speak more quietly, because you wouldn't believe it, that this best-selling, this guy that's on the African Writers Top 10 on Amazon, you wouldn't believe that this fella is actually nervous. Hold on a minute, people, talking to each other. I just told you that this man is on the African Writers Top 10. There you go. So, that obviously not nervous anymore, just irritating, but we'll get over that. So my name's John Paul O'Neill, and I run this Single Farragut Poetry, which is the longest running poetry slam in the whole of Europe. You know, I'm not trying to gallon and praise myself, but why not? So I'm Tolu. Let's get straight down to this. We've got this book here. Dogs not barking, lions not roaring. So we kind of have to ask the first question. Please don't look quite as terrified. Because I think, you know, Schrodinger's cat, state of being or not being, according to who's observing it, who wants to go and open a box which might have a nasty dead cat in it, all those kind of things. So was it Schrodinger and advanced theoretical physics that inspired you to come up with the title of this poem and this collection?
Yeah, for me it was it was just a follow-up in the series. So I started with the Limestone Row, okay. And while we are here, we all have a unique role which we need to let out. Why our time is limited, basically, okay. And from there I moved on to Dead Oxon Back, and from Dead Oxon Back I somehow found myself with the cat. We all know that cat has now 9 lives, and as they say. Yeah, as they say. Yeah, so basically why we are here, we shouldn't waste we will not even have up to 9 lives, maybe just the 1 life that we have and we're giving. We should not waste it.
Yeah.
So I don't need to ask you questions because Lucy will ask you the really pertinent, important questions.
Yeah, so I don't have
no cats, Lucy, no cats. But it does kind of lead on to the next question I've got for you, which is this idea of inspirational poetry. So you actually mentioned in your preface that you want people to go away and be inspired by your poetry. So what are you hoping that people get from this poetry when they read this collection?
Yeah, I hope when people pick up my collection, they feel inspired to pursue their own dreams. Whatever talent you have, Is it drawing, writing, singing? Just let it out, do it while we are here. Don't waste our talent, because most times a lot of people have great gift and talent, but we keep procrastinating. I will do it tomorrow, but we don't get around to doing anything tomorrow. And I hope when someone picks up my books, my collection of books now.
Three,
four. So I hope when people pick up my collection of books.
You realise they're poets and you're thinking, I haven't got four. That horrible man, he's got four, I haven't got any collections at all. You realise.
Haven't you suffered any rejections?
What we'll do is we'll have some questions at the end. So we'll do discussion, then we'll have. But you're storing up some really good ones. So we know that Tolu doesn't have a cat. And we'll find out about the rejections. Now, what is it that brought you to this point where you decided? What's your story as a poet? When did you start writing? And why did you decide that you would write not literary fiction? Because most people that start writing poetry either want to write performance poetry, or they want to write poetry that gets published in literary journals. What is it that brought you to poetry, and the kind of poetry which tries to inspire people to do well in their lives?
Yeah, so initially I started writing. I've been writing for about 10 years now. And from the time I started writing, at that point I never knew that I would even go into I used to write a couple of poems and bits and pieces. Then I used to run a personal development blog where I inspire people to write blogs and all of that. So, but with time I just started putting, the ideas started coming through, started writing, and people started liking, people got to like the poems I wrote, and I felt, wow, there's an audience out there for my works, and why not? So I wrote the Lionstone Row, got it published, and that was a massive success. The title as well.
So you started writing as an adult, not as a child or a teenager?
I started writing as a teenager, so it's
and who were you reading? Who were your inspirations when you were reading poetry and literature?
So at the time I used to read a couple of Wole Soyinka's poems, and that was quite inspiring. I had a massive guy from Nigeria who was a Nobel laureate, and that was really cool. But I never knew. I used to read Chinua Achebe's books while growing up. Things fall apart, and but it wasn't just I wasn't restricted to poetry, but along the line, I found out that poetry was good. I have a collection of essays as well, Unravel Your Hidden Gems. I'm trying my hands on a fictional novel, so it's all sort of mix and match.
So you were inspired by these great Nigerian writers, and you're writing in English. Is that why English?
Yeah, because English is our official language in Nigeria.
Oh wow! You see, in Ireland, it's kind of English is the language that everybody speaks, but you get taught Irish, basically Irish Gaelic, and this game goes on, which is that everybody should be speaking Irish Gaelic, but we all kind of know that the rest of the world would much rather we just spoke English, and we can make more money if we speak English. So I'm kind of interested in that. So English is the I stand corrected. But what's the difference between somebody that is speaking a Londoner that's writing in English, poetry in English, and somebody that comes from a Nigerian background? Whereabouts in Nigeria?
Yeah, so I was born in the Ekiti State, but I grew up in Lagos State here, so Lagos is the commercial capital of Nigeria. Yeah.
So what's the difference between someone writing in Lagos, writing poetry in Lagos, from that background, and someone writing in London? What does it bring? What does it make special about your poetry and your writing?
Yeah, so my poetry reflects a lot of African themes. If you look into Dead Cats Don't Meow, I wrote a lot about back home in Nigeria. I wrote about Lagos traffic. And I know a lot of people here, people who have been to Lagos, know how crazy, in Lagos traffic you can cook breakfast and get done. You can cook your lunch in traffic. You can cook your dinner and have your dinner in traffic. Yeah, so productive hours lost in traffic. I wrote about Oshodi. Oshodi is one, used to be like a very crazy city. Even when you are walking in Oshodi, you have to hold your balls because you might lose your balls in Oshodi. Wow.
Is that a line in one of your poems?
Yeah. So if you go into Oshodi, Oshodi, you will see something about, you know, so when you get to Oshodi, and I know about Ojota Park as well. Yeah, so a lot of teams around.
Elections as well.
Yeah, about
You talk about, I think there's a line about Nigeria being castrated.
yes, because
You do take up the politics, there are politics.
Yes. So it's more about, you know, so that when generations unborn, when they come, they read about all the things that happened even right before they came, about our politicians, what they do, you know, amassing the Commonwealth. When you go to Mayfair in London, you know, the classy houses down there, you know, who owns them and all of that. Yeah, so raising awareness about, you know, in the book, let people know what was happening, so that in years to come, people can read about it. And
Sorry, Lucy. So you're basically giving people that are in London an idea of what the Nigerian experience is, the diaspora, and what it's like.
Yeah.
But you live in Newcastle, don't you?
yeah, Newcastle. Newcastle, the city of my rising star.
Yeah. Well, Newcastle is a really famous, for people that don't know, Newcastle is a centre of especially working class poetry activism. So there's Iron Magazine, there are amazing reading spaces that have been going for over 50, 60 years, and there's a tradition of writing that is absolutely amazing. So did you go to Newcastle because you knew all of those things?
Well,
I think that's an answer.
well, I got to Newcastle by fate.
Oh.
So I went to Newcastle to walk, and if it doesn't work out, I was thinking I would take a walk, but it's been a beautiful story. Newcastle has been the city of my rising star, the city of my shining star. I wrote a new poem about Newcastle. I said, you know, I've been to cities whereby the imprint from my shoe, before my shoes, so even going to those cities, nobody even remembered any Tolu Akinyemi coming through. But I came to Newcastle. If Newcastle was a damn cell, I would be shouting, I would be roaring, splitting.
So you settled with your family in this city?
Yeah.
So they're honoured to have you and your family as well?
What's it?
They're honoured to have you and your family as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So Newcastle, if Newcastle was a woman, maybe I'll be...
Let's not go down that road. Let's be careful, you're on television. So what we'd like, really, I don't know if everybody agrees, what I'd like to hear, I'd like to hear some of these poems. What do you think?
Yes.
Now, I have come from a poetry slam background, and we're just very noisy, very affirmative. So, do you think that when Tolu comes up to read poems, that you could make out as if there were actually at least 50 times as many people in this room?
Question. I hope you'll answer my question.
We will do later, Lucy.
Okay.
Just a
But
short
it's a very important question.
So, do you think you can answer one very important question?
Okay.
Yes. You see, I tell you what. I've just simply written poetry for over 20 years. And I was motivated by political events, so I was inspired people and millions of people by writing poetry for Brexit, for independence of this country. And then I met Princess Diana, and I became her teacher. And I've written a lot of poetry. And how can I publish all that? I've written 300 poems.
Tolu will sit down with you at the end when he signs your book, and he'll go through the different publishers.
But now this is very important because I dealt with a very amazing Princess Diana, very famous, and I got nothing from that.
Lucy,
I'll see you later.
at the end we'll talk about it. We promise you. Can we have another round of applause, please? Look up at the camera.
Okay.
And Princess Diana started writing poetry herself.
Enough. Lucy, enough.
Okay.
I will start with good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming and being part of my special night at the launch of Dead Cat Stone Meow at the Poetry Cafe, Poetry Society, Covent Garden, London. It's a pleasure to have you here. Special thank you to Lola Vitico, Labette Makes Art. She designed the amazing book covers.
Wow.
She wrote the book. These are really special book covers, you know. African, a best-selling book now, so by all accounts. I wrote in the book when I was writing, someday I'll become a best-selling author. I never knew it was going to be this soon. So, cheers! The first poem I'll be reading tonight is titled Rich in Cash, Poor in People. And the basis behind this poem is that no matter how much you have in your bank account, no matter how wealthy you are, you need people to be able to have a successful life. This event tonight, that without you people here tonight helping me, John Paul, Ife, and everyone present here tonight supporting, then you can have the money, you can have the talent, but when you are poor in people, it becomes a big problem. People is a currency that you need to navigate through the rough edges that life might throw your way. You might be rich in cash, and your bank balance fat, comparable to a cow waiting to be milked. Being poor in people means you are living on the cliff edge, on the tenter hooks. When we pass through the tunnel or lost in the dark alleyway, these are riddles money can't solve. Sorry, page 90, in case. These are riddles money can't solve. Or our aeroplane is hit mid-air by severe turbulence, that our heart find a home in our mouths, literally. People will come through in the air hostess conversing survival strategies that may sound like a beginner learning a foreign language. You can't survive without a nucleus. There are days when money can't save you from those pitfalls, and the emptiness of life stares us in the eye like a motionless snail. That is when we need our bank to be filled with people, humans with blood flowing through their veins. Not your bundle of naira notes or your pound sterling will wipe your slate clean. Thank you.
Yeah.
The next one I'll be reading is titled 35,000 Feet. I don't know, that's 2104. I don't know how you guys feel whenever you fly at 35,000 feet. But for me, whenever I fly at 35,000 feet, I actually wrote this poem, Why Flying at 35,000 Feet, on my way to Italy in December. Flying at 35,000 feet above sea level sent me into fits of fear, cold shivers and jitters with every turbulent wind. The demonstrations by the air hostess are at best half-hearted. Every announcement from the pilot's cockpit sent me into a frenzy, palpitations and deep reflections. Don't blame me for building a home in the garden of fear and watering it with the seeds of an ill-fated crash. I detest being the headline on the major news channel for specious reasons. It might be my chance to up the limelight for leading over 100 souls to heaven's gate, or say a prayer in my hour of need for a divine turnaround, and the incredible becoming conceivable. I could as well in cowardice say my last prayer, accepting this as my fate, as my faith barometer would at best be at its lowest ebb. When I journey to high altitudes and land in one piece, I am filled with unfathomable gratitude for not being a statistic in the catalogue of human errors, a defective engine, or a pilot who wants to end it all. We all detest a crash. No one likes to be fed as a carcass to the birds or fishes that look for what to prey on in the Mediterranean Sea and Atlantic Ocean. Flying at 35,000 feet tosses me into fits of fear that could only be resolved by a dosage of faith. Thank you. The next one. Okay, good. The next one I will read is titled Youthful Exuberance. Page 68. Plucking the guava fruit from Amaka's father's garden are vivid memories of youth that last a lifetime. The freshly served jollof was a victim of my youthful dexterity that is always up to no good. Sagging trousers, with underwear that tells the tale of a prisoner free from the handman's noose. Flying colors are the ultimate symbol of the unbreakable energy of youthful vigor. In these days, youthful exuberance must have changed its paraphernalia of office, but the application still remains the same. My church mind tells me that youthful exuberance is exaggerated, a concoction of our innovative minds, ready to take on the world like an explorer on a tour. And someday we will outgrow it, laugh in sheer amazement at the actions that made us feel superhuman. Thank you. And right now, you know, we have the whole Brexit. So I have a poem for Brexit. Oh, I'm so sorry to bore you with. So sorry to bore you about Brexit again. We have something about Brexit. And this is titled, this is page 58, titled Hello Brexit.
Also Nigeria wants independence.
Hello Brexit, see you later. Brexit was a shambolic exit. Migrants treated like remnants. Unwanted species will refuse to be our brother's keeper. Brexit was the bitter pill that left a sour taste. Leave or remain, deal or no deal, it won't be the same. Brexit took away our rights. We lost our freedom, trade deals, jobs, and our togetherness. Brexit was a child of circumstance. The implosion of our ignorance right in our faces. Brexit will never be forgotten in our history books. The singular event that left us all shook, starring the pusillanimous Cameron, the chronicles of Farage and UKIP's fear-mongering, the indecisive May. Bojo was a renowned traitor. Corbyn lost his voice with the Tories left in disarray. Brexit was the exit, the unwanted child of circumstance, trust on us by faith, politicians, and ignorance. See you later. And the final one, before Jessica comes on stage. This is Dead Cats Don't Meow, but I have a part 2 for Dead Lions Don't Roar. Dead Lions Don't Roar 2 in Dead Cats Don't Meow. Can I have a loud roar like a lion? Can I have a loud roar like a lion?
Yeah.
Can I have a loud roar like a lion?
Yeah.
We roar like lions. That's on page 106. We roar like lions. Never forget the barking dogs. Like raving cars in the parking lot. Dead lions don't roar. True kings don't cower. Standing tall like the Burj Khalifa, that's on tower. See yourself as a flower. Let me water you into your own promised land. Bloom in the morning. Radiate at noon. Shine brightly with the evening moon. Unleash your creative juices like Fela, the king of Afrobeat in our jungle. Even the military could not bungle. Let me saturate you with my words, roar and voice. Let the lion in me fire you awakening shots to wake up your giants. Let my life be the torch that will spark you into your own revelation. Let these verses evoke emotions so deep. Remember, sleeping dreams do no good. Paper warriors are mere artifacts. Pour out your greatness like the fresh palm wine served in my calabash at the village square. Let my books and flowery cantos intoxicate you till you stagger into your own greatness. Reminisce on this all along that dead lions don't roar. Roar, roar, and don't stop roaring. Thank you. Before I package the stage, I wrote a piece for my book designer, Laura Etiko, on page 108. And after that, I will do fruition and Jessica comes up on stage. Exhale, page 108. Exhale, come on, exhale. And inhale. breathe the sound of life into those lifeless objects, like the three statues screaming, "Welcome to Lagos." Labette makes art. Labette makes stunning art, turning the innocuous to dazzling. Labette stimulates life into those lifeless artifacts. I will exhale and dance to the rhythm of Labette. I will inhale the new life with the rhythm to my dance steps and the swagger unseen. I will march like a 5-star general who has just led a battalion to triumph. I will embrace creativity like a love-smitten bachelor. Labette makes top-notch art. Labette makes illustration that whisper with silent timbers. Labette is the Afro queen with the Midas touch and golden fingers. Let's celebrate Labette. And finally, before I get off stage, page 97, celebrating one of the young CEOs in the city of London, Fruition Consultants. Fruition was a fruit of intuition. The cokers, straightforward, we don't play no pokers. Fruition was the seed of a dream, now reality, staring you in the face like a wide-eyed eagle. We all dream. Bringing an idea to fruition is noble. At the heart of backing, we are a powerhouse, so durable like a Hummer Jeep. Once slowly ran, now game changers, flying so high like Power Rangers. Against all odds, accounting is our minimum. Excellence is our normal.
Hello everyone, my name is Jessica, and I really enjoyed this book, and as I read it, there were a lot of poems that confused me, a lot of poems that were quite interesting, and today I'm going to read a poem that I think relates personally to me, and it's called Spoken Word. It's on page 15. Your spoken word shapes your world. Your spoken word is the genesis and the revelation of your life. Your spoken word is the catalyst of your life. The success and failures. Some embrace positivity. Others thrive in negativity. You get an equal measure. The harvest of your spoken word. Be careful of the words you speak. Don't let anyone sow negative vibes, air, and wind in your life. High five to all that thrive in the midst of chaos, sea of negative words, and still come out with a beautiful world. Thank you.
Hi everyone, so that was very brilliant. Just because of time, it's 9 o'clock now. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask Tolu. If you have any questions, comments, if you like the book, you like him, please tell him that. Thank you very much.
Can I just finish with my question?
No, you can do that maybe at the end because of the time.
But this is, he'll be tired and everything.
No, he wouldn't be tired. He would just ask.
I won't be tired. He's a lion.
Yes.
It's nice seeing you here again.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Your book launch. Congratulations.
Thank you very
Just
much.
wanted to say again, what's your favourite poem in this collection?
Oh, my favorite poem. I would say Rich in Cash, Poem People.
Rich in Cash.
Poem People.
Yeah, that was
Sorry, I need to leave, but I love your work. You're great.
Thank you very much.
I'm a big fan.
Take it on.
Yeah, hey, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
I have the book, I read it.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I have the Nigerian flag here.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Oh.
I bring it to Switzerland, you know?
Oh, great.
That's where I'm from. So,
Okay.
have a wonderful night.
So, any other questions while she's taking a picture with the flag?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, like, when you are, I know that you're quite prolific with your work. So, when you're starting your poetry or your poems, how do you have to be in a certain space, or like, does it just come to mind, or you really set yourself up for it?
I would say, let me take the example of Exhale, the poem I wrote for you. So, on your WhatsApp status, you just put Exhale up there. And I said, wow, that was just spontaneous. And I said, oh, this will make like a very good poem. And the idea,
So the words just come to you?
It comes to me, you know, flow and all of that. And, you know, just spontaneity. At times, I'll even be at work and an idea just drops in my heart, and I feel like, and recently, even Dead Dogs Don't Bark, I've written it, the second edition should be out like next week, and I did that in 3 evenings. I did that in 3 evenings.
So you get inspiration from...
Yeah, so...
What makes you put certain poems, so you said Dead Dogs Don't Bark has another edition coming out, what makes you put certain poems in that, and not like
Dead Cats?
For example, in Dead Cats or Unravel Your Gems.
Yeah, so...
How do you sort it out?
So basically, when I finished Dead Cats Don't Meow, and you know, a lot of things started happening. We had elections in Nigeria, they were inconclusive. We had bullions in Bodilon. We saw bullions in Bodilon in the Koyi, Lagos. So they were, you know, inspiration just came. I started writing after that, using thermometer. So it's just, when it comes, at a point I reach a limit that, okay, I don't want the book to be too voluminous. So 90, 100 points-ish, I tend to stop. And when I finished that Cats Don't Meow, I saw that I've written about under 30 new poems. So I felt, okay, let me just bring a new edition for Dead Dogs Don't Bark.
So does the title come first, or after you've finished a group of poems together?
Yeah, so basically, the titles, I already have the titles. So the poems just go straight into the title. Okay. Yeah, so because we already, the animal themes.
Okay. I was going to ask, so are we carrying on with this theme, or we're going to do something new?
All the animals are dead.
So I'm going to have something new. You can have a piece about taxidermy.
Okay, that's a great idea. So basically, I'm having a think as well about, I think people already know me as the author of The Dead now, so it will be time to retire the Dead series. But I was still thinking about writing Dead Tigers Don't Growl, but we never can tell. And, you know, so let's see what the future holds. You know, for now, I'm taking a pause. Maybe go on a world tour, do other things, write a fictional novel. Yeah, so, but I think the poetry space, I need to just push my work out more, get people to see what value I bring on and all of that. Yeah, so it's just all about within less than 2 years now, I've released 4 books. Yeah, so I think that is an amazing feat, and yeah, so it's just now time for me to concentrate on
Any other questions, or do you want to answer this?
Yes, what would you advise me? Because I've just written, in the course of over 20 years, 2,000 poems, and they were handwritten and some of them typed, but 200 over were published privately.
Okay.
So, and now I'm going nowhere. You see?
Okay.
I'm going nowhere. And I said, I just simply made Princess Diana world famous. Okay. I declared her the Queen of Hearts, and
Sorry, Lucy, what's your question? Because we really don't have time.
And so, but anyway, just simply, it's very important to give me advice.
Okay, I will give you address at the end.
Because you see, I'm an investigator. I've got 2 masters. I've got 2 masters.
Yeah, do you have an email?
I will take your email now.
Yeah, or your phone number, he can give you a call. Because this is going to be a very long conversation.
Because if I start giving advice...
But would you give me just a few words?
Go for your dreams. Just do it.
Amazon as well.
A lot of jealousy goes around and whatever, and they just block me.
Yeah, we'll talk.
So it's time for a vote of thanks now.
Okay.
Because of the time. And after the vote of thanks, please, you can still come and check out the books and just support Tolu. Thank you.
Yes. I want to thank you all especially for coming tonight to support me at the launch of my 3rd poetry collection. Meow, meow, meow. That's meow. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to everyone that has come here tonight to support me. I want to say a big thank you to Lola for, you know, giving life to this book, you know, because it's quite amazing. The covers, you know, they're breathtaking, and it shows how much detail you put into your work. And, you know, I also want to say thank you to John Paul O'Neill for, you know, the father of slam poetry in the UK. John Paul! Thank you so much for being part of this and, you know, supporting. I really do appreciate for your time. I know you are very busy, you've been unwell. Well, thank you so much. I want to say thank you to Ken Ife Chuku, author of My Name is Kose Kamse, and
A Week of Tortoise Tales.
Yeah, A Week of Tortoise Tales, yeah, pardon me, yeah. And I love you, Dr. Jessica, for taking the time to be part, to support me, you know. And thank you so much. I want to thank you to the crew from Heritage Television for coming to cover this event and for supporting and and to all my amazing friends who are here tonight to support me from the bottom of my heart. I really say thank you. Thank you for to favor Biodun Boka, CEO Fusion Consultants, Mr. Alabama. And thank you for those that, you know, that stockpiled the books to take away. I really appreciate you guys here. Thank you so much. Just my look back here. Thanks a lot. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone.
As well, in case people want to grab a couple.
Yeah, fair enough. I think we have some people wondering, don't we?
Tolu Akinyemi, a renowned poet, author, and performer, brings to us Dead Cats Don't Meow, a metrical masterpiece which invokes love and respect for life. Dead Cats Don't Meow is his first published work and third collection in his poetry for the Discerning series, after Dead Lions Don't Roar and Dead Dogs Don't Bark. Tolu shares his gift of writing with people far and wide. Recently, he received an endorsement as a writer with exceptional talent from the Arts Council England. Each poem examines a part of life, a sensation, a reaction, or an emotion. Individually, the verses breathe their own beat, while the collection knits together perfectly to present an idyllic anthology. Dead Cats Don't Meow is written to help you find your own voice in a world with a cacophony of voices. Join Tolu Akinyemi at one of the 4 events to celebrate the launch of Dead Cats Don't Meow. Thursday, April 4, 2019, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the Poetry Cafe, the Poetry Society, 22 Betterton Street, Covent Garden, London. Saturday, April 13th, 2019, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Museum Center, Function Room, 8 and 9 Marina Road, Onikan, Lagos, Nigeria. Thursday, May 2, 2019, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The Leeds and Phil, 23 Westgate Road, Newcastle upon Tyne. Thursday, May 9, 2019, 5:45 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. The Avenue Library and Learning Center, 9 Victoria Avenue East, Blackley, Manchester. RSVP, tolutoludo.com. Dead Cats Don't Meow is available at Waterstones, Barnes & Noble, eBay, Amazon, Patabar, and other outlets.